Hello and welcome to the topic on assembler. So we'll today see what is the use of assembler and what are the basic responsibilities which are handled by the assembler. Right, we have already seen that the outcome of the compiler is the assembly program. Right, so what we have seen is the high-level language program is submitted to the compiler, and this compiler output is something like assembly program. Right, so this is what we have seen till now, assembly program. Now, this assembly program is supposed to be given as input to the assembler, and this assembler is then responsible to convert your assembly program into the machine code. Right, so we are interested to find out what is the machine code for the appropriate assembly program. Right, so this conversion is supposed to be done with the help of assembler. So we need to see what would be coming up into this section, and we'll look into those part in detail. So my simple thing is like assembly language program is going to get converted to machine code with the help of assembler. So here there will be something like assembler which is going to be there, right? So now other than the machine language, no, this assembler does not understand any other language. That's why now we need to make sure that our program is available from the compiler in the form of an assembly language, right? So we'll see that how the things could be processed, and it is taken care of by the assembler. So there are a lot of things which we need to understand here, right, before we come to the actual machine code. Right, so there are various data structures which will be coming up into the assembler, and also we must understand that the assembler is basically divided into, is of two types. One is single pass assembler, and the other one is two pass assembler. Right, so we are supposed to see this two pass assembler as part of our syllabus. Single pass assembler is having some issues, so that's why two pass assembler is most of the time used. So we'll see what is this two pass assembler and what is the responsibility of pass 1 and what is the responsibility of pass 2. So right, so these two the responsibilities and the algorithmic aspect of that, we will look into it in detail. Right, but before we go into the details of pass 1 and pass 2, we must understand the basic requirements of the assembler. And in terms of various instructions, there would be some specific instructions which would be there, or maybe some assembler directives, I would say, which are having some specific meaning to the assembler, right? So it will instruct the assembler that, okay, this is the function that will be responsible for this work to be done. In that way, there are various assembler directives which are there, along with the imperative statements and the other declarative statements and so on. So we should understand first of all those stuff, and then we will be taking pass 1 algorithm in detail, and then we will look into the various examples of that, so that the concepts are made clear to you. Right. So let us see what are the various data structures which are involved in this. In any of the assembler, there would be data structures which will be required to be there. So what are the basic data structures which will come up here is, first is, anyway, assembly program is going to be there as an input. Understand, assembly program is going to be there as input. So for any of the types of assembler which are there, is there as input, right? So this is going to be common for everything. And then at the second level, we will be having the table of different types. So there would be one machine opcode table, right? So machine opcode table. So this is something like MOT table. Sometimes some books will say it is MOT table. So we will look into this MOT table, what it is all about, after the listing of the various data structures. Right? Because, and this is very important, you need to remember this machine opcode table, so that the appropriate machine code for the assembly program could be generated smoothly. Right. So the next one is this is one table that you need to remember, which I will cover after this. The other basic data structures are finished. And the other thing is symbol table. So you know what is symbol table? Any of the variable which is encountered in the program, it has to be somewhere listed inside the system, right? So inside the data structure. So what is the symbol and where is it present? So maybe the symbol name, symbol, and the address, right? So this is the information which is supposed to be present inside the symbol table. At least this much information should be present, right? And then the value also, maybe if required, will also be part of it, right? The fourth one is fourth data structure which is could be present is literal table. So there is a literal table. Now, what is the meaning of literal table? There will be there could be many constants which will be appearing in your program, assembly program. So literal and the addresses. So literals are nothing but the literal and the addresses, right? So these are the various constants which may be appearing in your program, something like double equal to 5, double equal to 2, and so on. So if this type of constructs are there, no, this will be somewhere coming, this will become a part of the literals, and the address will be then subsequently allocated as per the algorithm, right? And I mean, as per the addresses which are available inside the in the location counter, that is where the actual instruction is stored, right? And next is your pool table. So pool table is like is going to have the entries which are like one-dimensional entry. It is like this one-dimensional entry, and always the first entry will be starting from the zero, in the zeroth index. So, and when the first LTORG statement, we'll see what is LTORG statement. Whenever this LTORG statement is encountered, no, it will let's say these two entries were there before the LTORG this was encountered. In that case, it will have entry 2 here, right? So this is the index 0, this is index 1, index 2, and so on. So depending upon the various LTORG statements which are there inside the program, this number of the literals which are there before that will be counted and then will be placed, and the appropriate pointer will then be implemented, right? So full table entries highly depends upon the occurrence of the LTORG statement. Now, these are, see, what we have seen is, we have seen that the there are some tables like symbol table, literal table, pool table, then MOT table, that is machine opcode table, and so on. And assembly program is going to be there as an input to any of the programs, right? Any of the assemblers. So before we go into the details of this, no, we should understand what is MOT table all about, and then we will see with some basic example some assembler advanced assembler directives, so that no, you will come to know, okay, these are the type of statements which could be there in your program, right? So that will be made clear to you. So understand, this is one of the type of statement which could be there. This is one of the instruction, I mean, right? So LTORG will somewhere be present somewhere inside the MOT table. So what is that code, and what is the length of it, and everything would be important to us. We'll see step by step what is MOT table within the MOT table, and then we'll see with the help of example the various advanced directives which instructs the assembler that what is supposed to be done. Followed by that, we'll take the examples and go ahead. So let us see what is MOT table all about, right? You will have to remember this MOT table, because and it is very simple. You don't have to worry about that. I will try to make it as simple as possible. So MOT table, that is machine opcode table. Okay, now what is this there inside this machine opcode table? There are a couple of things. One is mnemonic. What is the meaning of mnemonic? Is nothing but the name, right? So one is mnemonic, then which class it belongs to. So it is belonging to which class. So whether it is, I will tell you what is that, and then what is the code of that. So machine code, and then the length. So this information is going to be present inside the MOT table, right? So let us see what are the informations this table will have, right? So I will have various different classes here. So one is imperative statement class. IS stands for imperative statement, right? And it goes from this machine code. I mean, we'll start from 0, 0, we will go to 10, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so and each of this is going to have the length 1. Don't worry, I'm going to fill up everything here, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fine. And all of these are belonging to the IS class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I mean 0 to 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. And what are the various mnemonics which are there is, it will start with something like stop symbol. stop mnemonic, then there is add mnemonic, right? So just see here. Okay, then you may say subtract, then multiply, M-U-L-T-I, multi, right? Multiply, then move R and move M. So move R, move M. So from memory to register, and this is from register to memory. So for that there are two instructions, and then there is a compare and branch instruction. Then only simply unconditional branch. So branch on branch on condition instruction, and here there is comparison and branch, and this is branch on some condition. And there is division instruction which is going to be there. Then there is read and print, right? So there is read and there is print instruction. So these are the instructions which are present as part of the imperative statement class. Your code will be having this mnemonics, and from this mnemonics we need to convert it into the appropriate machine code, right? So for which there is a table which will be present inside the assembler and will maintain the information in this way, right? So we'll be interested when the actual machine code would be required. These codes will be playing very important role during that time. But yes, the class also has to be known to, because these are the imperative statements, right? So type of instruction is known through this. Now there is one. There are other classes also. So we'll see what are the other classes in this table. Remember this in the sequence. So most of the time you'll be able to, you'll have to encounter these two instructions, then read, print if required, then subtract, add. But numbers, once you practice it, 4, 5, move R and move M. So read is 9 and then print is 10, stop is 0. So add is 1. So in that way, it becomes easy once you practice certain things. Remember this will be useful throughout your upcoming topics within this assembler, right? So we'll continue with the other class, which is your assembler directive class. So what is the other class is assembler directive, right? So there are 5 assembler directives which are there inside the MOT table. So 5 instructions, 5 assembler directives, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this will not be there, right? So which are the in this class, which are the various mnemonics which are there? So it will start. See, there is no 0, 0 here. Understand, there is no 0, 0. It will start from 1. Okay, so there will be some change here. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and there are 5 mnemonics which are start and origin. It is start and origin, start and origin, equate and LTORG. So EQU and LTORG. So I told you LTORG earlier. No, in the pool table it is going to be there. Then origin, what is the meaning of that? We are supposed to see the meaning of this, and then we can proceed for taking some of the examples, right? But yes, remember that these are the various assembler directives. Only 5 assembler directives are there in the MOT table. Remember this, and it is very much simple. The length, understand, length is not there. These are assembler directive, meaning that it is having a special meaning to the assembler. So there is no, it is not the instruction to the in the program, but it is having a special meaning to the assembler. That's why the class is assembler directive class. Then let us continue in this diagram itself. What is the other class? Right. So other class is your declaration class. So one is there are 2 entries which are possible here with the numbers, machine code numbers as 0, 1 and 0, 2, and there is no again length associated for this. Right. So there are 2 types of mnemonics which are there. One is data storage and declare storage and declare constant, right? So whenever there is declare storage sort of usage, it is going to be numbered as 1, and declare constant, it is going to be 0, 2, right? So these are the 2 things which are going to be useful to us, because any of the variables which are going to be there inside the program, this class is going to be useful to us, because let's say x DC05, if such type of variable is declared,
then it is of declarative constant, but then class is declaration, and but the value of that would be given in your assembly program. So in that way, no, it could be there. And also remember that it is this statement, declare constant dl with the number 2 is going to have the length of 1, right? So I mean, declare storage will not take any length, but then declaring constant will take one length of the in the program, right? So location counter needs to be appropriately adjusted. Then there are various registers in the program. So when we are talking of the assembler, no, it is always going to play with the hardware, right? So how many registers are there inside the system? So let's say there are 4 registers, A to C, right? A, B, C. I mean 3 registers. Let's say 3 registers, and not 4 registers. So what is the class for this? Is, let's say, RG class, register class, and the numbers would be 0, 1 to 0, 3, right? So 0, 1 to 0, 3, A, B, and C, right? And again, there will be no length associated with this. See, earlier we have seen one instruction which was CC, right? I mean, this was comparison based on the condition. Comparison based on the condition. Like, let's say there would be one more thing, that like EQ, then LT, then GT. You already know what is this. Equal to, less than, greater than, right? Then less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, and maybe not equal to sort of thing is there, right? So we can use all this type of mnemonics in your program, and based upon that you can have the class which is CC, which is nothing but comparison based condition, right? So CC class is nothing but comparison based condition. So this is different compared to what is BC, which we have seen in the mnemonic. So again, there will be some numbers. So there are 6 entries which are there as part of the mnemonic. So 0, 1 to 0, 6 will be there as part of the numbers, and that this will be dash. So this is all about the MO table. This is machine opcode table. So what we have seen is, we have seen 5 classes. One is imperative statement, which we have seen in the previous before this. Then there is assembler directive. Then there is declaration class. Then there is register, and then there is CC, which is comparison based condition. Now, having seen the table entries of the MO table, we should see what is going to be there. And I mean, some of the important assembler directives like origin, equate, LTO, start, and anyway is going to be useful. But how this could be there present inside the program? So using some of the example, what I will do is I will try to explain you. The assembler, advanced assembler directive, and how the data structures also could be affected. So, but first of all, we should understand what is origin, equate, LTO, and so on. Right. So we'll take that example and then go ahead with some other things to follow. I hope you are getting this. Please remember this MO table, keep it handy with you, so that in the subsequent examples, it will be required for you. That's why I'm saying just keep it handy with you. Okay. Let's say I'm giving you one example, and we'll try to see this with the help of this assembly directive. So I will give you one small code, start 200, let's say. Okay, and I'm giving you the location counter also. So what is going to happen is, there will be one location counter. What is the meaning of location counter? Location counter is similar to program counter. Understand that it is going to maintain the address information, and from that, it is going to store the instructions from that place onward. So move R, let's say move R is the instruction, and breg is the way in which you normally write, and this is equal to, let's say, 4, right? So at the length of this is 1, so next instruction would be at 201, and I'm writing somewhere something like this loop. There is a one loop. Move R. Don't worry, I'm going to explain you what is it all about. Move R, and again I'm saying a register, right? And that value is, let's say, symbol is n. Okay. Then there is something like add, so it will be 202, right? So add breg. B register. Just note down this so that it becomes easy for you, because otherwise it is difficult topic to understand. And then there is origin. Then there is this is sample program, so don't worry. So loop and plus 5. So what is going to happen with the origin and other things? I will tell you. Then there is something like next as a label. BC. There is variable called any. and there is something like loop, right? So there will be some, let's say this location counter is 206. So there is something like LTORG, because my objective is to tell you, is to take this LTORG origin and such type of assembler directives and to guide you, right? So we are, for that as an example, I am taking this as a sample base, and then I'm saying again origin next plus 3, let's say next plus 3 something, right? So there's an expression which is there, then n, then there is declaration class dc with value 5, and then there is, I'm going to have something like 209, and there is end directive which is their assembly directive end. End directive was having the assembly directive with value 02, right? Don't worry, anyway, once you practice you will be able to remember it. Let's say this is the sample code, and given to you the sample code, we are interested to see what are the advanced